Hi, I'm Mason Ald, and this is the WBFO Disabilities Beat. This week on Voices of Disability Pride, we continue our series with Center for Self Advocacy Data Analyst Courtney Deuro. Deuro is also an advocate for patient rights, including those who live with chronic conditions. This interview has been edited for length and clarity. You mentioned you have a passion for advocating for other people's rights and discovering how things work. Tell me a little bit about that.
I was asked to be on an advisory board for Children's Hospital, and that's probably where my advocacy really started from there. Around that time, my pulmonologist also asked me to talk with some of her patients, peer-to-peer kind of stuff. So someone was diagnosed with a lung condition. They were being put on a ventilator. They didn't want to be on a ventilator, which I fully understood. And I had already been trached at that point. So she asked me to talk with them from one kid to another kid. And it was just nice for them to see, like, I'm not going to be the only one my age with a trach. So that's where it started.
Why is the awareness of people with those fluctuating support needs important to you?
As someone with a chronic illness, I have fallen through the cracks many times because I don't have the right diagnosis for some services. And it's not right because it's a double-edged sword. So you have a disability, it makes it hard to work. If we get the support, then we can work, then we can go to concerts, then we can live life. But the moment you start working and living life, then society sees you as not disabled enough anymore. And so they take the services away. And then you fall back into not being able to do things. And it's just this like cycle.
What perspective and skills from other people do you carry with you today?
My ability to work with the medical professionals that I have, like my technicians, my doctors, the ability to work with them as a team. It's sort of like being on a sports team. Everyone's got a part, and you have to keep the communication going between all of them, and it's not easy to do. So recognizing that I'm on the same team as my doctors, we aren't working against each other, that is a skill that my mom taught me.
If you could give advice to a younger you or another person with a disability just getting started on their self-advocacy journey, what would you tell them?
Don't be afraid to reach out to the disability department, like at a school, especially if you're going to college. Even if you don't need the services for that semester, do not break your contact with the department. Like, keep your contact going, keep that communication going. If you're offered services through a government program like AXVR, don't turn down the services because you think, I don't really need them right now. No, stay on top of that, because at some point you might need the services, but now you got to start from scratch all over again.
And then what do you wish non-disabled people understood about our community?
Disability is not one size fits all, and it's not all or nothing. Just like any other human, life is very gray, and there's a lot of in-betweens. There's some days where you got a good day, some days that you got a bad day, and just because you don't like visually show like that you're disabled, quote unquote, doesn't mean that you are not disabled. And I wish society understood that. I wish a lot of people without disabilities understood that a lot of us do not look disabled, and that doesn't negate how much we still need assistance.
And then lastly, is there anything you've learned in your career that sticks with you every day?
I've learned a lot more about neurodivergence and become more accepting of like my own, and also how to speak out like publicly and do things like this. I was not good at doing this kind of stuff, like interviews, until I started working here at CSA, and I've learned a lot about that since being here.
You can listen to the Disabilities Beat segment on demand, view a transcript and plain language description for every episode on our website at wbfo.org. I'm Mason Ald. Thanks for listening.